What's good, Washington Commanders Nation? Commander Rio checking in with the latest. We got Rambling About Washington Weekly, and I got my boy, one of the heavy hitters from the Washington Commanders content creator community, my guy Rico in the building. What's going on, big dog?
Yes, sir, man. Good. Thanks for having me. And I don't think people talk about it enough, even just off the intro, man. You interview God, man. You got that on lock.
Hey, man. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to push this content out and build it up, man. I want one of them silver play buttons one day, 100K. That's what we want out here, man.
We all on our way for that, for sure.
Hell yeah, man. Everybody eats, and you know what I'm saying? We just got to keep the community informed in our own unique way. But before we get going, I just want to say this live stream and every episode going forward. Check the corners of the overlay are brought to you by Washington on the Daily on Instagram and BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. Join and get your bet, your parlay poppy Calvin Ridley on BetUS Sportsbook and Casino using my unique code in the description and promo code JOIN125. But let's get to it. Washington Commanders. Everything is new right now. We're going on our first season. We've acquired a quarterback, which is kind of polarizing and has split the fan base, but everything that ever happened splits the fan base. Yeah. What are your thoughts so far on everything since 2/2/22?
Man, it's a lot, man. New jerseys, new name. I mean, new old name. We knew it was Commanders for a long time coming.
Hell yeah.
A lot of things different. No Matt Ioannidis, no Tim Settle, no Eric Flowers, no Brandon Sheriff. But we got Andrew Norwell. Carson Wentz now returns to the NFC East. It's a lot, man. I mean, you can go on for hours about everything that's happened just in 2022 alone, man.
Oh yeah, man. A lot to unpack, man. We don't forget Efe Obada, another former Panther we brought in the building, man.
Of course. Like,
it's like a prerequisite to play for this team. Have you lived in Charlotte, played for a Charlotte franchise, or ever been to a Panthers game? But the Obada signing actually is one of the better ones, though, because he's actually a productive depth piece. Like, who are we to scoff at a guy whose last 2 seasons had 8.5 sacks when Chase had 1.5 through 10 weeks last year and Montez finished with 5? Yes, they had injuries, but a depth piece that can provide that type of production, I can appreciate it because we need it now. And I'm ready to see if we get Terry and Payne extended around the summertime. I know everybody's losing their mind. Like, why haven't we signed Terry yet? Let it happen. It's coming. A.J. Brown, Deebo Samuel, DK, they're going to get theirs too. I imagine deals are coming closer to training camp because that's usually when Washington starts to get proactive in that field. What do you think? You think they're going to get done, one or both?
I think Terry's definitely the priority.
For sure.
So I can see them waiting on Daron Payne. And to your point, it's probably going to come later towards like training camp because remember, Landon Collins is like a post-June 1st cut. So he's technically still hitting the salary cap right now. Mm-hmm. And so that will free up a lot of space later on. And then maybe once Landon Collins is officially off the books completely, maybe then they already have like the contract in place for Terry McLaurin. They sign it that day, hopefully. That'd be nice.
Ballpark figure, what's Terry's contract looking like?
Oh man, after Christian Kirk done ran up the money, and then I don't know, then Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill and went and set records, and I don't know, it's easily 22 a year, easily like plus, man. It's something way more than if we would have extended him months ago.
Yep, for sure. I see something along the lines of 4 for $95 because I can see some guys taking less because, you know, that TV money is crazy. Amazon and Apple trying to purchase NFL Sunday Ticket. And, like, you don't want to take a 5 or 6 year deal. I see 4 for $95 with, like, 72 guaranteed gets it done. Give Terry his money. He deserves it. And whether you think he's a lead or not, he's produced at a high clip despite the fact that we've had a fluctuating quarterback situation since the day he stepped foot. Like, we drafted this dude to be a gunner and a special teams captain, and he came in and got Josh Doxson the hell out the paint, man. Pay that man his money, man.
Man, and bro, you saw Taylor Heineke? Because of Taylor Heineke, Terry McLaurin had the lowest percentage of catchable balls thrown towards him out of any receiver in the NFL.
Hell
and
yeah.
Still got 1,000 yards.
And still managed to lead the league in contested catches. That boy is a dog. And Carson is going to let that thing fly. Before we get into the quarterback, let me check in with who we got in the chat. I got my boy Will in the building. What's going on? Ray, EJB said Rio Holmes. Yeah, man, y'all got to let that Mark Holmes son shit go. LD, what's good? Brother Cap, Queen Sheem, Kurt, Rick 2, Christian Miller, what's popping with y'all? How y'all feeling out there, Commander Nation? He said this Irsay stuff, dude. So if you haven't seen or heard the soundbite yet, Jim Irsay, he's just talking his shit. He's just flapping his gums about how Carson Wentz was a mistake. It feels like he's the only one in Indy that feels this way because most of his teammates ride for him. Reich still rides for him. But Jim Irsay doesn't really have anything positive to say about Carson. Jim Irsay is close to the Dan Snyder category as worst and most polarizing owners in the league. Should we take anything he says with a grain of salt, or should we take anything from it?
I mean, I saw on Twitter like yesterday or early this morning, someone brought up a good point. Like, should the Eagles listen to what Dan Snyder had to say about Ryan Kerrigan? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what does that matter? Like, how does that shouldn't hold any weight on whether or not you want to sign this guy, if you want to bring this guy to your team. So yeah, like in the beginning, it looked ugly. It looked like everybody hated Carson Wentz, but now that we're starting to get further into the process, everybody's starting to come out and say, like, actually kind of like Carson Wentz. It was really just Irsay was the only one tripping on it, really. And what's their star linebacker? I remember
Darius Leonard.
Yeah, the day we traded for him, he was highly upset. He was like 3 quarterbacks in 3 years. I'm tired of it. And like basically, I actually like this one. Why did y'all get rid of my quarterback? So yeah, it's really just Irsay at this point. The trade has looked better the further we've gotten into the process for sure.
Absolutely. And I'm cool with it. And Chris Ballard's a good GM, but if I'm Frank Reich, I'm looking at the ownership and general manager, and I'm like, bro, I'm a good coach. You have made me start a different quarterback every season of my tenure here. They have had 5 starting quarterbacks in Frank Reich's 5 seasons. Like, dude, like, you think we roll out quarterbacks left and right? They're a team that's actually built to win. So it's situations like this that makes me happy to see that there is turmoil and there is dysfunction that exists outside of DC, because we get so caught up and consumed with the ineptitude here that we think shit only happens here, but it happens all over the league. Look at the Browns press conference with Deshaun Watson last week. That shit felt like watching a wake at a funeral, bro. Like, we're not.
Oh, I'm in Atlanta. I can tell you, man, we ain't the only ones going through it now.
Exactly. The Atlanta Falcons, their receiving room is poverty right now. Like, it makes me feel so happy to have guys like Cam Sims and De'Ami Brown.
Now I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, Will said praying for more offensive weapons. We really need to spread the field and keep teams honest. Yes. So I know you love your Georgia Bulldogs, and you probably want one of those in the first round. What would be your preference at 11? Are you preferring that we take the sliding top defender that falls, or you like me where you're just like stack the deck for Carson and go get us a weapon, man?
I mean, I love my Bulldogs, but I don't see any of them worthy of a first round pick for what we're trying to do. Nakobe Dean's an outside linebacker. We already have those. We already have defensive linemen. So Jordan Davis, Travon Walker, they'll be great, but we don't need that. Channing Tindall, I don't think is worth the first round pick. So, I mean, I love George Pickens. If anything, in the first round, if we trade back, maybe George Pickens. I love my Georgia Bulldogs, but none of them make sense at 11 for us for what we need. So for me, I guess at 11, if we're not trading back, I prefer to trade back. For me, it's Jamison Williams. I don't care about a torn ACL. As a Georgia Bulldog fan, he's a care in my heart. If anybody could tell you, it's me. One of the best defenses in college football history. We had nothing for him. We literally had no game plan. We couldn't blitz to try to get pressure on Bryce Young sooner to take him out of the game. We couldn't really double team him because then they would throw it to somebody. It was literally nothing but him getting hurt could stop him. So if we can get Jameson Williams, he's my favorite receiver in the class. I like Ohio State boys. I like Drake London a little bit, even though I'm a little worried about the separation issues. I'm intrigued by Christian Watson. But Jameson Williams to me is the dog, the receiver here. And I mean, you never know. Jonathan Allen, he slid because of the arthritis issues. Montez Sweat, the heart issues, he slid way further than he should have. Maybe we trade back and Jameson Williams slides because of that torn ACL injury. And I think he's the best receiver, torn ACL or not.
I agree, and that would be music to my guy AJ Thompson's ears. He hopes host the Trapper Dive podcast with my guy Maul. He's been beating the drum for Jameson Williams all off season. He's like the wild card forgotten one in this class because if he didn't get healthy, he is clear cut the number one receiver in this class.
So easy.
He's Jerry Jeudy as a route runner with Henry Ruggs' speed and athleticism, but his production was better, bro. Like
he's stronger too. Like he breaks tackles too. People forget because he's fast that he's just like Deshaun Jackson only. He breaks tackles too.
Oh yeah, he's not some vertical threat. He is a number one. Like he comes on this roster and is our co-number one receiver. Like him and Terry are both the number one receiver on the roster because he's a game breaker. Like I would have paused because of the injury, but I seen a video today. He was on the field jogging and stuff. He's not participating in Alabama's pro day, but he might be ready to go at the start of the season. And some great team is going to be blessed if he falls to the end of the first round. And I love the Ohio State boys. I love Olave and Wilson. I love Treylon Burks. I think he's a game changer, home run hitter. I think I'm sleeping on Drake London. I need to watch some more, but 6'5" receivers that kind of have separation issues. It kind of frightens me a little bit, gives me those Josh Doxson. Even though
you gotta have the right quarterback for that for sure. You gotta have the right quarterback.
Hell yeah, and Wentz will let it fly, but I don't know. I just want a route technician, home run threat that's always going to be open, bro. And that's what the Ohio State boys, and that's what Jameson Williams offers. And
an Ohio State boy too. I mean, he's technically an Ohio State boy too.
Yep. Yeah. And for people who say, oh, but he couldn't crack the starting lineup with Olave and Jigba and Wilson. Listen, bro, Joe Burrow didn't beat out Dwayne Haskins for a starting job, and look at those two. Couldn't be farther
from. They recruit well, but evaluate poorly. They don't know who to put on the field. They know where to get them from high school, but they don't know who to put on the field at the right time.
Hell yeah, that's that Urban Meyer methodology right there. Hell yeah, but yeah, I would prefer to go weapon there. I think we'll have a conversation if Stingley, Sauce, and Hamilton's on the board. I just think we've put so much into the defense over the year. You make an aggressive move for a quarterback that you don't see as a stopgap that you actually want to see for the foreseeable future here. You got to build it around him. Like Ron said, you want to protect him and surround him with weapons. We better not draft no damn guard or tackle at 11. So it got to be a weapon, man. It has to be
I think so too.
It has to be a receiver. And how do you think George Pickens slides into the receiver rankings in this draft? Because I like Pickens and people have forgot how good he is.
Man, I wouldn't be surprised if it's literally Jameson Williams and George Pickens end up being the best receivers from this class, but people forgot about him. But then he had that 40 time that I didn't even expect out of him. I knew he was faster than what people thought. To me, he's basically just faster Keenan Allen, but with an alpha dog mentality. That's my closest comp to him. And so I think after that 40 time, his stock may have risen a little bit again. But people really forget that George Pickens was arguably the best receiver going into the 2021 season before he got hurt at the end of 2020. Like people forget.
Hell yeah. He was in the SEC bullying dudes. And if you've seen him block too, like he's a dog.
Pancaker, automatic every time.
Hell yeah. My man Outlaw King, what's good with you, man? He said we're taking receipts on Wentz. Yeah, everybody. There's so much negative stuff. Like you would think we reacquired Dwayne Haskins with some of the hate that Wentz is getting here. Like people forget, like 2019 Wentz took the Eagles to the playoffs. He put the whole squad on his back with Greg Ward as his best receiver, bro. Like this dude can do it, man. He didn't even have a great season and put up 27-7 last year on a run-first team on two sprained ankles who tried to make him a game manager and not play his style of football, man. Give Wentz a chance, man. I think he could ball here. He's easily the best and most talented quarterback we've had here in quite some time. And like I said, I don't trust anything from a coke addict. Talking about Irsay. The league owner meetings have been going on this week. We heard from Ron and Mayhew. Is there anything specifically that caught your eye out of what they're saying? And what was your biggest takeaway from what you've heard from our brass from the league owners meeting?
Man, I've been watching so much film the past couple of weeks. I haven't even peeped what they said like that. The one thing I did catch was that Martin Mayhew feels like we are a better free agency destination than we get credit for. The thing I mostly take from that is the fact that he hears the noise that we hear. Like the fact that he's aware that people are saying we're not a free agency destination is interesting to me, because normally people that high up in the organization don't really even hear outside noise like that. So that intrigued me. And then also the fact somebody said that they think Cole Holcomb could potentially start at Mike linebacker for us. And I'm good on that. I'm personally. But other than that, I haven't heard anything. So I'm listening to you trying to peep game from what you, because I missed a lot of it.
Yeah, hard pass on the Cole Holcomb playing Mike thing. Man, I like the dude though. I like the dude. Him and Jamin can play Will and Sam, but they're not the Mikes, man. Like throw in a veteran and throw in some type of veteran on the cheap deal, man. Alexander Walker or somebody, like throw in somebody like that, or draft one in one of the with the second or third pick. But what caught my eye is fans that were upset that Ron was like, he's tired of us being the target for like all this hate and salacious comments going on. He's like, and I'm tired of it. They're like, oh, you've been here for 2 years. What do you mean you're tired of it? Do y'all not want a passionate coach that is cognizant of the words and disrespect that's thrown our franchises way all the time? Like, I love that. And I love that.
I like it too.
These dudes are self-aware. They pay attention. They see the stuff. Clearly, they pay attention to what's happening on social media and on the content creators, because they hear all of the chatter. They hear all of the noise. But the only thing that's going to end up solving it is they got to win. It's year 3, Ron. You went and got your veteran because you didn't want to try to rookie out there because you know you need results. Win right now. And what do you think of this new overtime rule? Me personally, I thought overtime was fine. Like, I didn't really like the bitching about, oh, both teams should have a chance. No, just play defense. Like, it's another quarter of a football game. Oh, we didn't touch the ball in overtime. So did 1,000 other teams, bro. Like, the rules was fair to me. What do you feel about this new rule and that it's going to take place in the playoffs that both teams have to touch the ball?
Yeah, I don't really care either way. The only reason I like it is because I just like rule changes. I like to see how the game adapts to it, like just how people make different decisions and stuff like that. Because just like how, back a few years ago, a cornerback couldn't push a receiver out of bounds. That was technically pass interference. If they, you pushed them out of bounds, you didn't give them a chance to get their feet in bounds. And now how the game is completely different because of it. So like, I'm just interested in seeing what it looks like in overtime now and how fun that's going to be. But like, I'm impartial either way. Like if it was the other way already and they changed it to what it used to be or what it's doing now, I don't really care specifically what the rules are. I just like seeing changes and seeing what happens with the change.
Hell yeah, man. I just want them to win, man. I want to see what an 11 win season looks like. I want to know what a playoff victory feels like, because we haven't had one since 2005. Sean Taylor's diving into the end zone, rest his soul. Like, bro,
let's get to the point where those overtime rules actually affect us. Let's make it to the playoffs to where it matters. That rule doesn't affect us yet.
Bro, we're starving, bro. We are starving. Shout out Mike. What's good, man? He said, great work on the team news and updates from both of you. Keep up the grind. Hell yeah, man. We got you. We got a cowboy in the building. Come on, Rio. You know Wentz is trash. And yes, I spelled his name right. Hey, listen, Cowboy fan, on your high horse. Yes, you guys did put up 50 on us on primetime television. Wentz threw less interceptions than Dakota Prescott, and he had the same amount of playoff wins as him last year. So we're going to keep pushing from that. Nobody's banking on Curtis being healthy. Curtis Samuel is the wild card for our offense. If he actually is on the field and playing, our offense has a whole new wrinkle and element in Swiss Army knife. Do you expect to see? Because I expect Curtis Samuel to be on the field this year, because for what we're paying him, we need him to be. What do you think?
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I don't think that should stop you from taking a Jameson Williams if you like him. But yeah, I expect to see Curtis Samuel going out there at least earning some of them dollars this year for sure.
Yeah, so to answer your question, Queen Sheen, I think it's going to be Curtis Samuel. I love what Diami's doing, though. If you haven't checked out Diami Brown's YouTube, he has a YouTube called Diami Show documenting his offseason workouts and stuff. He's been working with Hakeem Nicks out in UNC, working on his short area burst and quickness. But we need Curtis Samuel to live up to that paycheck this year, and we need that. But defensively, which position are you targeting first in the draft? Is it Mike Backer? Is it free safety? What do you think?
It's for sure got to be middle linebacker or free safety, but it depends on where we're at. Like if you trade back in the first, it's free safety. If you want to wait till the second, I can see you doing linebacker. But I mean, also like if you want to, maybe best player available, because like you said earlier, Kyle Hamilton falls to you. I think you got to take him. Like I just think you can't even question it. And then there's an argument to be had about Derek Stingley being the next Champ Bailey, like Fred Smoot said, or you got Sauce Gardner, who has a really high floor. You know, you're getting a 10-year starter at corner that's going to play really well with a potential to be even better. So I feel like defensively, you just really should go best player available. But once we start getting to the late first and to the second, and well, we don't have a third round pick, I think then you try to look for the best Mike linebacker or free safety available.
Oh, yeah. And the way I'm seeing it is try to trade back. I know fans get very enamored with the option of trading back, and they like think that calls are automatically flooding your line. You have to have a partner, and it takes two to tango to get a trade back. A trade back and then taking a receiver would be lovely. But here's how I'm doing it. Take a receiver at 11, and if you want a Mike Backer, if you want to come back up for a backer or another player, do it. If not, I'm personally going offense both rounds to start the draft. I'm going receiver, and I'm going Trey McBride, tight end, Colorado State, second round, bro, because Logan Thomas is coming off an ACL tear, but I think we overrate Logan Thomas just a little bit, though. Like, he's solid. He had 1 year of production in his career. Trey McBride comes in and gives us that Ertz Goddard type balance, and John Bates just to round out the room. Trey McBride ran a 4.53 today. That boy is built and has the receiver skills to be an inline move tight end like the Kelseys and Kittles of the world. Give me a starter. Give me an Olave, Wilson, London, Williams around 1, and give me a tight end in round 2. Carson has no excuse.
Oh, yeah, none. Absolutely none.
At all. You're lining up 2 bona fide receivers on the outside, Curtis Samuel on the inside, Diami Brown and Cam Sims to round out the receiver room, tight end room of Logan Thomas, Trey McBride. The offensive line is formidable, and Gibson can take a leap this year. The offense is rolling. Dejon Bell, shout out for the super, man. 199. He said frightening with Rio because of Josh Doxson. Man, Josh Doxson had a I didn't love football issue. Like, he made up a whole ass Achilles injury so he didn't have to play football. Like, he was like the quiet version of Sewell Cravens. Like, he was just there for vibes, bro.
Yeah. Just here to get a check real quick, go home.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate you for the super. Another super. I got my guy Tyrone. First pick, tight end. Second pick, wideout. I don't know if I'm taking the tight end first. I wouldn't be mad at it, but I think Trey McBride – at the end of the first or in the second round, he might be available. Isaiah Likely, maybe go later with a Jelani Woods or the dude from Maryland, Okonkwo. We got to add a tight end too, though. What's good, Sugar Daddy? What's good with you, What's popping? There's no tight end worth the first round pick. I think McBride is a fringe first round pick. Oh, we got another super. My guy, Alex Wilson. He said, Alex Smith said today that the Washington dysfunction impacts the play on the field. He said that it actually takes your attention away from focusing on ball. Appreciate it. And all respect to Alex Smith. I really am not ever checking for anything he has to say anymore because everything he said has already run its course. Like, the dysfunction in Washington is evident, but it has shit to do with you throwing for like 105 yards every week, bro. What's happening on Tuesday in the headlines is not why you threw to J.D. McKissick 20 times a game, bro, and why you had just dragging your leg around for the whole final fourth of the season, your last. I think you got to let that hurt go and move on, Alex. Like, at least dumbass RG3 is starting to come around and be objective about the team. It's time Alex Smith does. So anything you want to add on that?
Yeah, I don't know what we did to Alex. I mean, if anything, Ron Rivera was one of the very few people that was willing to give him an opportunity to even start at quarterback on an NFL team the year he was coming in with that severe injury. I don't know, like, he could have easily have gone to the younger guys to see what they could do. They would have been smarter at the time, really, honestly, unless we were trying to push for a playoff. But I don't know. I don't see where the hate comes from. Like, I don't know what Ron Rivera and company did to him other than give him an opportunity.
And what it looks like to me is that he took it personally because Ron wanted no parts of putting him on the field. He was terrified of putting him with that injury on the field. Like, Ron said it straight up, like, bro, we will not activate him unless we absolutely have to. This dude almost died from the infections of that surgery. Ron didn't want to be the guy that was pointed to say, you put Alex Smith back on the field and potentially put him in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Ron didn't want to.
And then as soon as he did, first game back, giving Aaron Donald a piggyback ride.
Hell yeah. And it was watching his wife and kids like see that from the crowd, it was chilling, bro.
Yeah, like, they didn't like it.
At that point when Kyle Allen got hurt, I was more concerned about Alex Smith's health than winning the game. And I didn't want to feel that way for the rest of the season. Also, Alex probably felt away because he could see how lazy Dwayne Haskins' work ethic was. He could see that Dwayne wasn't showing up to field sessions. He could see how fucking lazy this guy was, and he was getting the opportunity to play. And he's like, dude, my leg was brisket last year, and I was first to the film room. I'm first to practice. I'm staying after. I'm putting the work in, and you're putting this lazy-ass slob fake celebrity on the field because the owner selected him. So
that's a good point.
I feel where he's coming from, but let that shit go, Alex. Like, let that shit go, please, man, because we already get enough. We get enough flack from everybody. Duncan, we got a Philly Eagles representative in the building. Is Wentz your franchise player or is he just a bridge quarterback? Just wondering. By the way, fly Eagles fly. I appreciate you for the $5, Duncan, and a channel member. That's the question we have to see here, because we took in and consumed the contract because we can get out of it after this year if need be, if we have to pull the cord on it. But from everything I'm hearing from Ron, Mayhew, even the influence of Joe Gibbs, they want Carson to be the guy here. And I think talent-wise, he's capable of being the guy here. Will he? Sure. I'm not sure. But I think this will be one of the, when we draft the receiver, this will be the best receiving core he's played with. Scott Turner's offense suits what he does best, and he's going to push the ball down the field. So you should expect an inflation in his numbers. Even if he does throw more picks, he's going to throw the ball here. They didn't even let him throw 40 times, but like 3 times last year. The volume's going to be up here. What do you say to this question?
Oh, yeah, no, I completely agree with everything you said. I mean, he's actually going to throw on first downs here. Scott Turner actually throws the ball on first down. But, yeah, I mean, like you said, we're going to have a year to see. It's really hard to answer that question right now. I mean, and really he's not going to be a bridge until we have a guy learning behind him. Like, until you have somebody learning behind him, even if he does play poorly, he's not technically a bridge quarterback. He's just a poor starting quarterback. So we don't even have a guy to turn him into a bridge yet. So right now we're just hoping he's our franchise player. I doubt we draft a quarterback in the draft. So hopefully it works out.
Hell yeah. But we're going to get to should we draft a quarterback in just a second. I got another super. Any receiver that could be there at 49 that doesn't give clout. I like the dude out of North Dakota State. Christian Watson. I think the receiver that people forget that is really good, maybe because of his size, is Jahan Dotson out of Penn State. He's a boss. He's a baller, and he's going to absolutely shred out of the slot for somebody. I got my YouTube father in the building, my guy Mark Holmes, Cowboys in the building. He said, I will protest the stadium going to Oxon Hill Cove Park. Jim Irsay says Carson Wentz was the worst mistake he's ever made. Trust me, we know who Jim Irsay is, and we know that's not the worst mistake he's ever made. Like, if you think Bob Kraft getting caught up at the happy ending parlor was bad, I'm sure Irsay got a lot worse in his closet. And it's all good, Mark. Northern Virginia is going to get that stadium. They about to put that joint on lock. Nova representative in the building, man. Shout out to you, Mark. And if you're not already sub his channel too, because, you know, he likes the cow shits, but he keeps it real. He's objective and he puts out good content. I don't know where he has the time to put out a video every 20 minutes, but he grinds and he is significantly helped my growth on YouTube. Shout out to my guy, Mark. Let me see what we got going on. There's no major difference between all these receivers. Draft the best player at 11. Yep, that's always the way to go. Should we draft a quarterback? And if we do, when would you take one in this class?
I mean, you know, Malik Willis is my boy. And I mean, like I've already said several times, for anybody that may not know, for unbiased and very biased reasons. So like, I'm taking Malik Willis if he falls to 11, but I've already gotten it out of my head. I've already accepted. I've come to peace with it. We're not getting my boy Malik Willis, but me personally, if I were there, I'm taking Malik Willis. And if Carson Wentz doesn't work out, whether it be due to injuries, whether it be to he's just nervous, doesn't work out, you have your guy. And the reason I would say get a quarterback this year is because it's going to be really hard to get a quarterback next year. People say Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, but you're gonna have to pull like an RG3 like trade to get one of them. Because I don't think we won 7 games last season with Taylor Heineke, one of the worst injury and COVID-19 situations in the NFL. I mean, it was just really bad. So I think our floor with Carson Wentz is at least 8 games, honestly. And so like we're not gonna have a top 5, top 7 pick and where you can just trade up real smooth to get CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. We're gonna have to give up like multiple firsts. So I prefer to take Malik Willis at 11 than give up multiple firsts for one of those other guys, but that's just me.
Let me tell you something, though. I think Malik Willis' name's getting called early. I think it's being called very early.
It's starting to build up.
He could go as soon as number 2, bro.
Yeah, like, I've seen that.
He's easily going to be the first quarterback off the board, and someone you can't deny the skill set, and someone is going to take those traits and roll with it. I don't think we're drafting a quarterback in the class. I'll even go as bold as to say Carson's going to get at least 3 years here as the starter. They don't want another reset. They don't want to go into years 4 and 5 changing quarterbacks every year. I think he's going to take us to a wild card berth this year, and the NFC East is open. Hey, Mark, your Cowboys got weaker this offseason, Mark. I'm not afraid of a receiving core that just consists of CeeDee Lamb and Gallup coming off an ACL tear and James Washington's running back body ass.
Pray for them guys.
And Washington. Hell yeah. Y'all are having a terrible offseason. So the division's wide open. The Eagles, y'all made the playoffs last year. We also had y'all twice with Garrett Gilbert and Taylor Heineke, bro. And Carson's coming for revenge. I expect to see the Eagles week 1.
Please, give me that.
Schedule makers are going to put us in Philly for Carson Wentz revenge game. Imagine coming to Philly with the all-black song for war, bro.
And we played Philly week 1, Chase Young's rookie year, too.
Hell yeah. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah, man. And Wentz remembers that shit very vividly. He brought it up in the intro presser. I see that Virginia dropped the funding from $1 billion to $350. It's because they're betting against themselves, Mark. Like Maryland and DC haven't put any funds on the table yet. They've proposed some things, but Virginia actually has bills that are already being sent. Like, they already have the money on the table. They're like, why are we going to put up $1 billion if nobody else is putting any real money up yet? Stadium's coming to Virginia, man. People are going to have to accept it and get over it. That joke coming to the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth Commanders, man. Duncan said, Rio talking smack too soon. Oh, I'm not talking smack, but I'm saying that division wide open. Like, the only team that really I would say I wouldn't put them in the conversation for winning the division is the Giants. But we got to see who they have playing quarterback, because they're a sneak team that could take Malik Willis. Brian Daboll might get Willis right, bro.
Oh, yeah. I can see that. Like I said, I hope it don't. I definitely hope it doesn't happen. But yeah, I could definitely see that for sure.
Hell yeah, man. I'm excited for this draft, man, because there's so much unpredictability at the top because there's no bona fide quarterback going number one in the draft. Like Aiden Hutchinson is the presumed top pick, but we're in for so much mystery on draft night. You got anything planned for draft night? Anything you going live? You doing anything?
Oh yeah, I definitely gotta go live. Always going live during the draft. It's so much fun to talk about everything and to have Twitter up so I can try to be ahead and all of that type of stuff. But yeah, man, this draft is gonna be really fun because, like you said, we have no idea what's going down. You normally kind of have a good feel for like at least some of the top 10. Like maybe you know who's going number one. You know this team needs a receiver really bad. He's going number 4. This team really needs a tackle. He's going number 6. We literally have no idea right now, 1 through 32. Like just none.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my man Alex with another super with the $10. Appreciate you again. He said Alex Smith almost died for this team. Then the team said they didn't want him on the team, then led them to the playoffs with one leg. Put some respect on his name. He didn't lie. I'll put some respect on what he did, but I'm not going to overinflate. Like the team was winning in spite of him. Like he held down the fort. I'm not a game manager type of guy, bro. Like Teddy Bridgewater, Alex Smith, Tyrod Taylor. That's not my style of football, bro. Like my guy was throwing JD McKissic had 80 catches because of Alex Smith. You don't want your running back, you don't want your backup running back with 80 catches, bro. I love JD McKissic, bro. I respect what Alex did in his story, the Project 11 thing. He has a beautiful family, gorgeous wife, great kids, but I could give one fuck about what he has to say in March of 2022 about this team. We know the team is dysfunctional. We know the team's a shit show. Thank you for regurgitating the same information we already know, bro. Like, what are we getting out of it, man? Like, what are we getting out of it?
I agree.
My man said get Stingley at 11 and John Mechie in the second round. Another Alabama receiver. What do you think of John Mechie? He's one of those guys being slept on in this class also.
Yeah, also pretty slept on. Got hurt a little bit, but I mean, another athletic freak, and who knows, man, goes to the right situation. That's what's tricky about the draft because guys that go later in the first round end up in better situations and usually perform better, especially early on in their careers, because you're getting drafted by the Chiefs with Pat Mahomes rather than the Detroit Lions with Jared Goff as a receiver. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, it can get tricky. John Mechie may go to the Buffalo Bills and
go crazy,
just go stupid. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's tricky, man.
Hell yeah, you just never know. And like it's like someone like Nakobe Dean, like your boy, over the last few days, him and Kyle Hamilton, all of a sudden the consensus is that they're both gonna slide in the draft. Y'all go ahead and let Kyle Hamilton slide too far in the draft. He's gonna go to a great team like the Ravens and be Ed Reed, or let Nicole slide to the right team. He's gonna turn into Ray Lewis. Like, bro, look what happened when they let Dallas get Micah Parsons, bro. Micah Parsons was the best player in last year's class, and y'all let some rumors about some locker room hazing from a transfer student stop you from taking this guy. Let that talent sit on the board and you're going to regret it, man.
Yeah,
like, that's why it would be kind of hard. Like, I don't want defense, but if Kyle Hamilton's staring us at the face at 11, it would be very hard and very enticing to go Kyle Hamilton.
Man, it's just too, I mean, I know we use the word generational too much, like way too much.
Yeah.
But Kyle Hamilton is like really that type of guy. Like he's different. Like, I mean, he can literally play all the positions. We say like Cameron Curl can play a lot of positions. We say Kendall Fuller can play a lot of positions. No, like Kyle Hamilton really can play pretty much every position in the secondary, even a little bit of linebacker. Wherever you need him, wherever you have a hole in your team, he can do that. And just like with Micah Parsons, depending on if there were an injury for a specific game, if one guy was out due to injury, if there's a certain scheme the other team prefers to use, you can literally use that player to counter that directly. We're going to use Kyle Hamilton like this today because the Cowboys like to do this on offense. We're going to use Kyle Hamilton like this today because Kendall Fuller's hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, he fixes so many issues all in one person. It's just hard to pass up.
Hell yeah. And for those who say, oh, but we need a real free safety, Kyle Hamilton's a real free safety, bro. Don't get don't get those 40-yard dashes twisted. It's because he can't run in a straight line, bro. Watch the technique. That man ain't never ran on a track a day in his life, bro. My man was zigzagging through the whole 40. Listen,
Oh yeah.
a 4.5, 4.6 does not stop Justin Simmons and Jesse Bates from flying all around the field and being a single high, legit free safety. We haven't had a free safety answer since the great Sean Taylor, bro. We're now in 2022, 15 years later, and we still haven't. The David Bruton Jr.'s, the Philip Thomas of the world, like the Troy Apkes, bro. I wouldn't be mad if we took this dude in the first round. LD said the Dumfries Commanders. I'm gonna ride my bike. Yo, if the stadium's at the Potomac Shore site in Dumfries, that's 14 minutes for me, bro. I'm pulling up on an Uber like right down the street, bro. Like I'm there. I'm gonna be sitting in traffic. Like everybody's like, oh, but what about the fans coming from DC and Maryland, bro? What about the fans coming from Northern Virginia, bro? It takes me 2.5 hours to get from Stafford to FedEx Field, which is like the worst stadium ever. And I still show my ass up to the stadium and root for this dumbass team, man, because it's love. But no matter where the stadium is going to be, just give me a state-of-the-art Superdome and make the experience be fire, man. That's all I want out of a new stadium.
They said we were going to have a roof. The discussion is it going to be retractable or non-retractable? Is it just going to be permanently closed, or is it going to be like down here by me, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, where if it's nice weather, you open it up? But I mean, that's pretty cool. And they said, I mean, you saw the plans for it. Like they're trying to have like a mall attached, a cinema, hotels, clubs, things for kids to do, like Lego.
Commander City. They're calling it Commander City, and
that's fine.
The plans is to have from what I've seen, a translucent roof, because Jason said they want to host the World Cup. They want to host the Olympics. Like they're trying to host the Super Bowl. They're trying to host events that are outside of football, and they want to right all the wrongs of that toilet bowl known as FedEx Field. So I'm excited to see. The damn Bills just got a new stadium announcement. Did you see that?
Yeah, man, they spent all that money. And now they're not going to host no Super Bowls. Yeah. It's in Buffalo, right there by Toronto. Open roof. Who wants to be there in February?
Spending almost $2 billion on an open air stadium, like that ain't it, man.
In negative 20-degree weather.
It's 2022. Everybody should have a climate controlled venue. Like fans should never have to pay money to be rained and snowed on, bro. Zach, my group chat boy, my boy Zach Henson, that's my guy at Burgundy Bones on Twitter. Give my guy a follow. He said, y'all remember when Jimmy G had the most lucrative market and every single team said, nah, we straight. Mariota, Trubisky got starting gigs before him. Exactly. Jimmy GQ. All of a sudden, not one team is interested in him. And it ain't because of the shoulder surgery. It's because Jimmy GQ is the definition of mid, bro. Like, he's been in the league 7 years. He's only started 2 full seasons of those 7 years. He's only thrown over 10 touchdowns twice in 7 years. Why is someone giving up something for that? That's why, like, people, like, we really got the next best option that we could when we traded for Carson Wentz, and people need to understand that.
After Russell Wilson, it was literally Wentz.
Yeah, because we weren't getting Watson, and Lord knows we couldn't handle that mess with the Deshaun Watson situation, because
there's no way.
Cleveland is getting hell right now. Andrew Berry, as professional as he is, they're killing the Browns for their handling of the situation. And I seen footage of Deshaun's first civil deposition. That shit it's just a bad situation, bro. You seen any of that, man? It felt like they haven't coached him up well. Like it's a bad look, bro.
Man, I feel sorry for him, bro. You know, man, anybody from Georgia, I try to rock with him, but it's looking real ugly over there for my boy.
Yeah, it's looking real like he don't even got no answers. So Deshaun, why do you use 40 massage therapists? And why are you contacting these women via Instagram and Facebook? Like, yeah.
You shouldn't be doing this in your offseason. You should be worried about which receivers you're going to throw to. You should be worried about learning plays. Man, that's a mess, man.
This man, Tony Busby, said, did you find her attractive? He said, I have a girlfriend. I cannot answer that question. I was like, yeah. Yo,
man.
It's looking real shaky for my boy, but he got his bag, and we got them on the schedule this year. What if we get Watson week 1? I don't know. He might get suspended, though.
I'm about to say, can we get Watson as early as possible, please?
Hell yeah, because he might not even be on the field for week 1. Hey, exactly. Tyrone, shout out to you, my guy, for the $5 super. He says, Smoke Monday, safety from Auburn. He plays like Sean Taylor. I'll take him 11. Ooh, that's spicy. In the first round? I mean, we do see safeties. We've seen it before. Darnell Savage, people didn't find out how good he was till about a week before the draft. Like, they said he was probably going to be our pick at 15 if Dan the Dweeb didn't come off the ship and draft Dwayne Haskins. So the draft is crazy, bro. Cleveland Farrell went 4.
Yeah, I'm still mad about that. I'm not even a Raiders fan. I'm still like, what?
Yeah, bro. Like, Mike Mayock and John Gruden, they was wilding in Vegas, bro. Like, they was wild. They took Alex Leatherwood early last year, and the whole world was like, yo, I'm not an expert, but what the fuck are they doing, man? Hell yeah, man. Yeah, we're definitely paying tax money for the stadium. It needs to be great. It can't be bullshit, man. Yeah, Maryland players. There's a couple in this class I like. I love Chigo Okonkwo, the tight end, and the safety, Nick Cross, for a 4th round pick.
Oh, yeah. Athletic freak, man.
Nick Cross, that boy gets it. That's a free safety. And I would love to see us in some 3 safety looks with McCain, Curl, and a safety like Cross or Hamilton or Jaquan Brisker out of Penn State, one of those guys. Duncan with another super. This is all nice, but how you guys going to pay for this wonderful Commander City? You can only sell so much cookies. Because it's going to get paid. The NFL is going to help finance it. The state's going to help finance it. The stadium's going to get paid. The NFL ain't never turning down building a new stadium, especially for a team with a fresh face like us. I don't know if you've noticed, but Commander stuff, there's not too much available yet, but it's flying off the shelves, and we've had the top selling shit since the shit dropped. So stuff is selling, Duncan. I can't wait till we see Philly, man, because y'all been talking crazy, and I'm not so sure your quarterback Jalen Hurts is the guy yet. He has to throw for 20 touchdowns in a season first, big guy. Hell yeah, man. But NFL offseason, man. What are you most excited to see once things get going here?
Man, I mean, there's still guys available like Bobby Wagner, Tyrann Mathieu. Apparently, Bobby Wagner is trying to get a 1-year, $11 million deal. Basically, like how you said, he's trying to wait to cash in on those new TV deals, whatever may come up. He's trying to go 1 year at a time, kind of like LeBron was doing a little bit too. So he can cash in big later on. But hey, if we can get one of those guys, that would be lovely, even though I doubt we do. And then, man, just the draft, man. I'm so excited to see what our strategy is going to be going into this, because I mean, it's not just the players, it's the overall strategy. Like, you're drafting this guy because, like, are we going to go positional flex again? Are we going best player available again? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we prioritizing moving forward as a team? Because we're starting to get the building blocks for a franchise. We already have a lot of young guys, but just still trying to add more young core. And so the way we draft is going to say a lot about how we feel you can produce winning football. What's the formula for winning games?
Hell yeah, because that's all we need to see here. And Ron and his cliches, bro, them shits be killing me. Positional flex, every other sentence is, I believe it. I really do. I really do. Okay? I really believe that. If we would have got if we would have got Russell Wilson, Ron and Russell would have cliched us the fuck up for 12 months straight.
Did you see that Mr. Unlimited video?
Yes.
Boy, that made me so happy we didn't draft him. I didn't see that video till after we didn't get him. I was so upset.
Unlimited.
Unlimited. Boy, that video made me so mad. I sent it to everybody.
I know a lot of those videos watching him do these throwing sessions with Sutton and Judy. They got me a little salty, though, because he said no to us. Whether people want to admit that or not, Russell said, I am not waiving my no trade clause for you. It was more than Seattle not wanting to trade him in the NFC. He said no to us and picked the Broncos, bro. So yeah. I want smoke, bro. That divisional gauntlet over in the AFC West is going to be crazy. But what I'm most excited to see is an easy answer. Is everything. We're new. Everything is new. I'm excited to see what our practice uniforms look like. I'm excited to see all the jersey combinations we put together. The white on black, the white on red, the red on white. Like, I'm excited to see new, because We've been our age demographic. We've been shit our whole lives, bro.
Literally.
We watched the Washington football team, the Redskins. We like when old school diehard fans like to come at the younger fan base. We have no reason to still be here, and we're here, bro. Like
none, literally no reason.
Bad our whole life, and we still rep these bastards to the death of it, man. Coach Greg was good. That's Cam Curl's pops. Coach Greg Curl in the building. Shout out my guy. What's going on, boss?
It's good.
He said, I bet we take a receiver at 11. Hey, I hope so. We need the offensive firepower. I would love to put a Kyle Hamilton next to your son back at the back end,
that was crazy.
But we need offensive firepower. I think Olave or Wilson is going to be the pick if they're on the board. Shout out to my guy, Coach Curl, always keeping it real. Greg Curl is a cool dude. He be mixing it up with us common folk on Twitter all the time, bro. Just kicking it, man.
That's what's up, man.
I love to see it, man.
Rock with that.
I love to see it, man.
They from over there. They from Arkansas, right?
They from Okogie, Mississippi, I believe.
Mississippi? Yeah. Oh, okay, that's what's up, man.
They Southern, man, but
yes, sir.
If it's way too early and we don't even know the schedule yet, if you had to put money on it right now, what's our record for 2022?
Like I said, man, the floor got to be 8. Like the floor has to be 8. With Taylor Heineke throwing the most uncatchable passes possible, that with the COVID-19 injuries, we got to a point we were starting 4th stringers on the offensive line across the board. And then we also, people forget, by the end of the season, when you put everybody's win percentages up against each other, we had the toughest schedule in the NFL. Now we're going to have the easiest schedule. We're going from number 1 toughest to number 32. I think our floor has to be 8 wins. Like, I mean, they always say in movies it can't be worse, but like honestly, like last year, to somehow get 7 wins out of that, you gotta. I mean, we play less elite quarterbacks this year. Like our defense should go back to looking like how it looked 2 years ago because we played less elite quarterbacks. We're gonna play less elite quarterbacks again. It's just so many reasons that at the very least, all of those factors should produce at least 1 more win. At least 1 more.
Hell yeah. And to be perfectly honest, for Ron's sake, win 10 games, bro. We need to go 10-7, bro. And schedule makers, please do us some favor. Give us Houston week 1. Give us the Lions week 1, bro. give us the Deshaun
confidence
Watson
booster.
Hell yeah. Give us the Deshaun Watson on suspension Browns week 1. Like, give us, you know what I'm saying? Give us some favors, man. They got to win 10 games this year, and they have to make the playoffs, bro. Like, I don't like Ron gets so much hate, and Ron's such a good dude who came in such a shit situation. Oh, and my bad, Craig. I said Mississippi. It's Oklahoma, Muskogee, Oklahoma. But
I got a few folks out there in Oklahoma too. That's what's up.
Yeah, they gotta win. They gotta win 10 games, bro. There's no excuse for it. Breece Hall, that's a running back I'm looking at. Yes, running back. That's a position that I would not be surprised if we drafted earlier than people thought. A Kenneth Walker, a Breece Hall in round 2. Antonio Gibson is a good running back, but I don't think he's some bona fide RB1 that doesn't need competition. I think some competition would be good for him. He put the ball on the ground too much, and he left yards on the field. His vision hasn't always been there. And I know people are going to say, he's still transitioning from wide receiver. Look, I don't have time for that shit anymore. We're in year 3, and I expect results at this point. And we don't have too many players on the roster that we should be afraid to upgrade from. Like, as fans, we got to stop overvaluing all these players and just not be afraid to attack success and be better.
I agree. And based off of how much they've talked about running back the past few months, like they just said running back. We're going to bring another guy in free agency. They didn't do that. So they're going to do something in the draft. And I think it is going to be more so a power back than like a third down back, because they already brought back J.D. McKissick, and they were still talking to running back even with J.D. McKissick.
God, stop the fucking presses. Oh,
6, 10, and 11.
Oh, we got to stop the fucking presses right now.
Oh, yeah, no,
this is
trolling.
The most blasphemous, disrespectful. 301, you're my guy. We mix it up on Instagram a lot. I should block you from the live stream for this. Trevon Diggs is a better athlete than Sean Taylor was. You out your goddamn mind. To be perfectly honest, he had a record-setting interception season, but he's not a shutdown corner. Don't get it fucked up. He gets burnt a lot. He just catches the matter of fact, we're not entertaining it. We're gonna act like this shit. We're gonna go ahead and move right past that shit.
Troll, big troll, man.
No, ain't no motherfucking way.
big kizzy, big cap.
Hey yo, everybody in the chat go in his head right now because that was one of the wildest. That was as wild as when someone came in here and said I was racist. Like, man, you gotta love the internet, man. Could you imagine being on Twitter during the Malice at the Palace, the Pacers-Pistons fight?
Oh, I couldn't even imagine.
Like, I think the internet might have imploded because Sunday night during the Oscars when Will Smith smacked Chris Rock, that was one of the greatest Twitter nights in the history of Twitter, bro.
Just divided everybody in half.
Yo, Phil, how you feel about it? The joke, you know what I'm saying? It was a little flagrant, but you can't walk on a stage on national TV and smack a man for a G.I. Jane broke Will. And I love Will.
Pocket, man.
That's my guy. That's one of my favorite actors, celebrities ever. Don't do that, bro. That's not a good look, bro. Like Chris Rock, like if he ran him a fade for that, we should not have been upset. Like,
yeah, for sure. I mean, and I'm one of the people that's been campaigning that Wild Wild West is not a bad movie. So now my heart's broken seeing him pull some stunt like that.
You know, it's not as bad as people say.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm gonna give some credit to Will. This Bel Air show is actually good. This new show.
I was not gonna watch it until my mom made me, and now I'm really happy I am watching it.
It's fire, bro. Like a drama version of Fresh Prince with modern storylines and shit. That shit is fire, man. Let me see.
Crazy.
Hey, shout out to Dave in DC for the $10. Just discovered Rambling with Rio. Big Rico fan already. Love your show. We are only ones that want 2 offensive players round 1 and 2. Receiver, then Michigan State running back. Yep, Kenneth Walker. Hey, I want offense, bro. Like, you remember a couple years ago when Matt Roll took the job in Carolina and they drafted all defensive players? If we drafted all offensive players, I'd be with the shits, bro, because we have done so much, bro. Like, we've put so much into the defense and we've already seen that defense regress. Like, we need to build around our quarterback. I know it was a troll job, 301. You're my guy, and we always mix it up. We always talk our shit. But don't ever speak on Sean, bro. That's a touchy subject that pulls on our heart.
You gotta troll with somebody else. You can play with Terry before you can play with Sean like that, man.
Yeah, you might get Chris rocked in these streets if you say some shit like that. Pull up on Alabama Avenue and say some shit like that, bro. Malice in the Palace would have caused a 24-hour farewell for Twitter. Yeah, Twitter might not have ever been able to come back from the Malice in the Palace, bro, because that was like the craziest event ever, man. Pierre Strong Jr. or Devontae Price, 6th or 7th round. I like Ty Chandler out of North Carolina for a late round running back as well. Holcomb playing Mike, I'm passing on that, bro. And we need to not believe too much of what we hear from coaches and front office members at this time of season because it's smoke season and it's lying season. And like Martin Mayhew said today, you don't want to give away a competitive advantage before the draft and say, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Like, nah, man, you can't do that.
That's how we ended up in this Carson Wentz situation. Like, it's not the fact that we traded for Carson Wentz, it's what we gave up to get him, and teams knew we were desperate for a quarterback because we kept saying we want Russell Wilson. We want this guy. We want this guy. Then we failed to get him. They knew they could charge us a third, 2/3, and all of this. One of them could become a second because they knew we really wanted a quarterback. Whereas maybe if we didn't let all that information get out there, maybe we could have gotten them for that. What was it, like a 4th and a 6th we offered at first or something like that? Yeah. So yeah, man, you can't keep showing your cards out here because they're gonna take advantage of you. They're not your friends out here. This is a business.
Hell yeah. Brother Cap said, "Do you sell your merch, Rico?"
Oh man, I'm about to get back on that. Thank you for bringing that up. I just want to find like a good person to do it through because Teespring, the quality, like, man,
it's trash.
It's a little iffy, man. Yeah, like once I figure out how I'm gonna do it, it's for sure coming out. I got all the ideas. I just need to get it on in product that you can hold tangible.
Same thing for me because I got a guy to design the merch. I got a graphic designer. I just don't want to put it through one of these trash ass like distributors that gives you these Gildan brand shirts. Like, bro. Oh my God. Speaking of Gildan brand shirts, have you seen these fake ass jerseys that the Commanders jerseys that people are like flaunting in Facebook groups and Twitter?
Nah, I missed that whole thing.
They're really bad, bro. Hold on, let me see.
I'm about to say, send that to me when you can, man.
Hold up, bro. They are really, really bad, bro. The black jersey has like gray sleeves. Hold on, let me put this up on the board.
Also, somebody got frisky and creative with it. Like they was just freestyling.
These joints, bro. They got the DH Gate, Wish.com, Commanders jersey. Fam, just wait till they drop, bro.
Yeah, man. Somebody thought they had a good idea in their garage and thought that was gonna be
it. Oh yeah, Greg said, Will said they talked about it before, and Chris still did it. Like, I feel you at the end of the day in protecting yours, but I feel like the person who said it also played a fact. He ain't pulling up on David Chappelle. He ain't pulling.
Oh yeah, he's not putting up on Martin Lawrence for sure.
Yeah, he's not pulling up. Like, Cat Williams, little as shit. I don't think he's pulling up on Cat if Cat said that shit.
I agree, because he with the violence.
And to be perfectly honest, Chris Rock is a better man than me, because I would have rolled off August Alsina jokes for the next 10 minutes of my stage time, and it would have got real ignorant in that motherfucker if you slapped me like that.
Oh yeah, hey, you saw did you notice the clip where he was about to say something and didn't?
Yeah, he said I could. Nah, like
he had it. He's like, nah, not the time.
He put it away. He had the clip. He put it back in the holster.
He put it back in the holster
because it was about to get real ugly. Trevon Diggs got mossed by Cam Sims. There's nothing to say about that. Trevon Diggs and Sean Taylor are two names that will never ever be in the same sentence. So he said, I'm loving Bel Air. I'm on Chris Rock's side, but it's not gonna make me hate. Oh yeah, of course not. You know, people make mistakes. We all do some ain't shit stuff in our personal life. We're all human, and we're all, you know what I'm saying, they're under a certain microscope that we're not as regular people. So when they do something, especially in front of the millions watching the Oscars, it's gonna be dramatized a little bit. But you know, Will's still that guy. Anyone thinks his career is over because of that, like, you're foolish, man. What you doing? He said, I got y'all good with that one. Hey, don't do that again, bro. I'm gonna ban you from the chat.
Touchy, man. If he was alive and retired, it'd be different. But like, yeah, that's touchy. That's you gonna get us with that one every time. Every time. I'm gonna react. I got to.
Hell yeah, man. But on that note, I'm about to start getting ready for work. I appreciate everybody for pulling up in the chat. What's up, Dubs? What's good? Cherish Me. What's good, Jose? He said Trevon Diggs owns Terry. Terry will get his revenge with a better quarterback this year. Anything you got coming that you want to plug? Anything you want to tell the folks before we go?
Yes, sir. You can find me on Twitter, Street Sports ATL, and I'm working on all content revolving team building, of course. So I'm coming out with film sessions. I'm coming out with mock drafts heading up into the draft. And, of course, I will be live streaming during the draft. First round, the first day, second and third round, second day, and at least rounds 4 and 5 of the third day. So, yeah, make sure y'all pull up, man. And, yeah, I'm trying to organize it, man, because if I can get, like, more people on with me and stuff like that, that would be really dope.
Hell yeah, man. I got big stuff coming for the draft as well. I got a stream. I got a War Room pod and some more stuff coming in a full first round mock. It's content season. Keep supporting your content creators out here. We're out here grinding and putting this work in. Appreciate everybody that pulled up tonight. And hail to the Washington Commanders. Take command. Salute. Until next time. Deuces.